Hello class, so this is a screencast that will enable me to familiarize the class with our environmental ethics course as it's worked through D2L. Okay, so let's look at, first thing is obvious. We have envelope icon, which is where we can email each other, and you can email me. This is referred to as internal messaging on D2L, but this is what I will refer to as email. Okay, and let's click on class list here. So as we click on class list, that will give us a class list, including me. And so that's how you can email me a message about a question you have or whatever you need. Okay, so that's how you do that. And you could also obviously email your classmates there too. So this is the home page, and otherwise known as D2L. This is Environmental Ethics, Philosophy 218801. And the announcements feed is something I regularly populate, but it's not necessarily the center of the course. It used to be when we were doing our face-to-face classes, but it isn't anymore. Let me change my mode here so I'm viewing this as a student so that we can navigate through here as you would. So this is our home page. We have an announcement, but I'm not going to look at this announcement just right off the top. I want to show you our toolbar here. So obviously this is where you're going to find out your grades here. Like I said, this is email here, internal messaging. The quizzes is the place where we will take our final and our midterm. The assignments will be a regular way in which I ask you for written work, but I'll also ask you for written work in the discussions. But with the discussions, this is where we might be doing group work and such as well. So it's just slightly different formats, but maybe similar in the sense that we'll be working with these two tabs quite regularly. Okay. And but see it more as this. So the content tab is really front and center here. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the content tab. So going away from the home page, and we already see that I have some stuff up for week 1. Okay, and week 1 includes the syllabus, which is right here. Okay, so let's look at the syllabus really quick. So that's at the bottom of the things to do for week 1, things to start doing for week 1. And on the syllabus, I also have some things that I did not talk about in the video that I added on later. So one is this part on this is a remote course. And so this also is indicating that we will have an aspect of this class which is what is called synchronous. So in other words, we will meet at a designated time, and I'm more or less aiming for Monday at 10:30 a.m. to 11:45, which is the class time that's listed in the catalog. Okay. And I have a question for you on that in the first discussion. Then another thing too, so I go over this a lot, another kind of some other points after the schedule here. And remember, always remember that this schedule is more or less set down, but there could be changes to the content by which we're studying, okay? So in other words, I might not feel that we need to look at what is nature for JS Mill on this date. So that might change, okay? Then another thing too is the addenda for the netiquette here. Right we have some points for the online, having to do with our online situation specifically, and then also some D2L specifics as far as the browsers to use, etc., etc. And I'm often told that Google Chrome is the best, by the way. But these also show that Mozilla and others are equally fine. Okay? And so that's some stuff, but there's also some other stuff too on our tech issues, etc. here. Okay? So be sure that you take a good look at that. Then let's go back to content. And notice too that this is set out for August 17th through the 21st. So notice that this is also indicating something to do before August 24th, which is next Monday. Okay. So I'm trying to set the pace for the class in the sense that I will be assigning work a week ahead of time. So here I'm assigning work that will be due a week ahead of time, August 24th. Okay. So that's what I'm shooting for as the way that we're going to be working in the future here. Okay. So then we need to also see that I have these two hyperlinks. Okay. So one is the first hyperlink here, which is leading us to the announcement. And so the announcement is also on our homepage. Remember that. See, there it is. And so that's welcoming you to the first day of environmental ethics. And this is some details on what is environmental ethics, and then kind of just to get you started here. And as you keep scrolling down, you'll find a video that I made overviewing the syllabus, and then you'll be watching this screencast. I'll have it right here as soon as I finish making this screencast. Okay? So that's on the announcement page, but that's linked here in the content page in the weekly work. So that was linked right there, okay? Then here is a discussion. So notice up here there are discussions. So you could access this discussion either way. So here you can go to discussions and see, oh, he has our discussions here. I would recommend starting at the content folder and clicking on this because I have it linked and you'll see it pop up. There we go. Introductions and syllabus questions. And here I'm asking you some questions. Welcome to our first class discussion. Start a new thread to answer these questions. Offer all answers in complete sentences, not bullet point phrases. So A, introduce yourself to the class. You can give me your name, what brings you to this class specifically, anything that you want to let me know about yourself or anything like that. Then how do you understand yourself in nature? For B. C, although I do not mention it in the video, what is the policy on computer tech problems as noted in the syllabus? D, what is our late work policy? E, what is plagiarism? F, will participating in synchronous class meeting once a week in a synchronous class meeting once a week on Mondays, 10:30 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. work for you? And then I'm seeing here that I should have a part where you can also ask questions. I'll change that as soon as I finish this screencast, okay? I'll make a little note to myself to ask questions. And you would then start a new thread in order to get going on this and answer those questions by starting a new thread, okay? And that gets you through starting out the first week. Okay, so I think that basically gets us going. Oh, the other point I wanted to make before I forget is the point on the discussion. So let's look at that really quick. This synchronous class meeting is basically going to be a Zoom meeting, and I'm thinking that it's going to be due on Mondays. We're going to set it to be on Monday. And that's where I'm going to be offering feedback for work, and then also content coverage as well. Okay, so that's where we need to make sure that we're lined up, because that's also where you will earn participation points for showing up for that. Okay. All right, so I think that's about it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.